ततो रावणनीताया सीताया शत्रुकर्षणः येषा पदमन्वेष्टुं चारणचरिते पति. Hanuman, the destroyer of foes, desired to travel in the sky where the celestials like Charna strayed to look for Sita, who was captured by Ravana. Mama name Hemant. Aham Vyavanama Samaskate Maghamase Shukla Pakshe Chadurdasham Guruvasare Uttarayane Shishira Ritu Pushya Nakshatre Siddhi Yogi Garaja Karan. So I'm here to give a little bit of introduction of how Ayurveda works or what Ayurveda is. So Ayurveda is all about treating imbalances of energy in a body. So let's first look into what these energies actually are. According to Ayurveda, there are 5 fundamental elements in this universe. So from these 5 fundamental elements, we can derive this into 3 biological energies: Vata, Pitta, Kapha. According to Ayurveda, these fundamental biological energies are present in different levels in different organisms. So why are these energies even important? Right? In the systems of body and mind in a human being, depending on the energy levels of this Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the flavor of behavior in the mind and the body will differ. Right? So let us look at some factors that affects this energy level balance. So we can sort of classify these factors as action and circumstances. So actions are factors that we personally do that will affect our energy balances. These are like our dietary habits, the things we eat, our sleep habits, the way we go to sleep and when we go to sleep, consistent sleep schedules, our emotional regulation habits, so how we deal with emotions, our coping mechanisms, and etc. Circumstances are factors that are basically given to us by the world. These are like prakriti or nature of how our doshic balance is, environmental factors like the pollutants in the nature, seasons can affect our doshic balance, and etc. So these variety of factors influence our doshic balance, which will have an effect on our mind and body in different ways. Okay, so let's look at in a more mind-focused way. So we're going to be using the yogic model of the mind for this. So the yogic model of the mind tells that there are a couple of systems in the mind. These are manas, which deals with reactions, emotional reactions or just reactions in general. There's a buddhi, which is basically the intellect. And there's the ahamkara, which is ego or sense of identity. So the mind can actually adapt and change how it can think or react depending on experiences, right? So when experiences come into the mind, the buddhi and the manas process those things in different ways, which will actually change the ahamkara. And based on the ahamkara, will actually influence how the mind functions as in manas and buddhi. So it changes how we react and think. So what is the influence of doshic balance in this? Let's talk about it. So based on doshic balance, it influences how our mind reacts, how we think intellectually, and hence can predict how the ahamkara actually forms. So by this itself, we can see how, according to doshic balance in the mind, we can basically predict the mind of a person. Now I would like to look at how Ayurveda fits into the big field of medicine and what place it actually takes in the field of medicine. So I'd like to look at an analogy for this. So let's say there's a roof, right, the home roof, which protects us from all sorts of things, rain, acid rain maybe, sand, all that stuff. Well, let's say in this roof there's a hole, meaning rain can actually literally come into the hole, right? So let's say this roof is actually the body, and the hole is a compromise in the body, which is letting pathogens like viruses, bacteria into the body, which affects the body itself. Allopathy is actually really, really good at removing the rain that comes in, water, sand that comes in. It's very good at removing that. Ayurveda, where it really shines, is actually fixing the hole itself. When we fix the hole, we don't have to worry about rain or sand or anything coming in. So that's what Ayurveda is really good at. That's what they're focused. They're focused on healing the body itself, so that diseases, even if they come, the body itself can react in a way that is productive, and the body will be strong enough to handle it. Thank you. Later my friends will discuss about in detail about Vata, Pitta and Kapha and the contribution that Ayurveda has had in the field of medicine.
Jai Shri Ram. Dushkaram nishpratidvandvam chikeshana karmavanaraha samudagra shiro grivo gavam patirivababhau. Asya shloka ardayesha. Hanuman, who wanted to perform a deed performed by no one else before, shone like a bull without any obstacles. He stood there with his stretched neck and raised head. Mama nama toshan aham sarvajit nama samvatsare चैत्रमासे कृष्णपक्षे चतुर्थ्यां शुक्रवासरे उत्तरायणे वसन्तऋतो विशाखनक्षत्रे सिद्धियोगे पवकरणे च जातः. Today I am here to explain about Vata dosha. As a friend has mentioned earlier, Ayurveda states that everything in this world arises from the 5 fundamental elements. Similarly, Vata dosha arises from the combination of the air and space element. Vata dosha is also responsible for controlling all the conscious and the unconscious movements of the body and the mind. It governs respiration, blood circulation, thought processing, touch sense coordination, heartbeat rhythm, and everything related to the motor and sensory units. It also is connected to the mind and the nervous system. Vata is typically characterized by dryness, lightness, coldness, subtlety, and also mobility. When in balance, Vata enhances creativity, intuition, and also deeper sense of spiritual understanding. When in Ayurveda, when trying to classify individuals using their physiological or psychological traits, it is done by using doshas. This is somewhat similar to the concept of cognitive fingerprints in our modern medicine. This uniqueness also causes that one treatment or practice that may work for one individual may not necessarily work for another. There are 5 types of vatas. The first one is pranavata. Pranavata controls the things related to mind processing, vision, and thinking. This is located at the brain, the eyes, and the throat. And the second vata is Udanavata. Udanavata is related to speech, self-expression, enthusiasm, and also represents vitality. It is located near the throat and the lungs. The third one is Samanavata. Samanavata controls all the movements during the digestion. It is located at the navel. And the fourth one is Apanavata. Apanavata manages all the downward impulses. It contains urination, menstruation, elimination, and also sexual discharges. It is located between the navel and the anus. And the fifth one is Vyanavata. Vyanavata is related to everything related to the movement of the body, heartbeat control, and everything. It is located at the heart and spreads throughout the body. Usually, when Vata is unbalanced, due to the ever-changing nature of Vata, it might lead to overthinking. And overthinking will cause either anxiety, fear, agitation, or hypersensitivity. This is often linked to excessive rajas. It's also when Vata is in excess, it is usually caused by overexertion, stress, overstimulation by either mobile devices, crowds, etc. Also, a similar effect is produced when stimulants such as caffeine, nicotine, or recreational drugs are also taken. Doing meditation regularly helps alleviate these effects and find a sense of stability and balance in oneself. Also, as we have discussed earlier, when Vata, we describe an individual using the composition of doshas in a person. So when we describe a person, we describe them as Vata, Pitta, or Kapha dominant. What this means is, this does not mean that the other 2 doshas are absent, but it's just that one is predominant over others. In Vata dominated individuals, it is the one that is higher. This does not also represent ill health, but it simply represents the natural constitution of the body, or what we call as Prakriti in Ayurveda. Prakriti is something that is unique to an individual and decided at the conception of one's birth. It is similar to genetic inheritance. This Prakriti is central in Ayurveda, as Ayurveda gives treatments according to one's Prakriti, like medication, treatment, lifestyle, diet. Everything is recommended with according to one's own Prakriti. As we've discussed earlier, the idea of doshas in psychology is similar to the idea of cognitive fingerprint in modern medicine. What is this plays an effect in the motivation style of particular people too. Generally, people who are vata dominated have a quick motivation to learn something new. They'll also be able to learn it quickly, so they'll have higher motivation when doing. But the common pitfall is they'll also lose the same motivation quickly too. So they'll immediately learn something and also will lose the motivation and tend to forget it afterwards too. This dynamic motivation usually appears as insincere or lacking of dedication. But rather than looking at it as a flaw, we should understand that it is the inherent nature of vata people. The solution for this is people who are vata dominated should try out multiple different activities and rotate between them. They should do an activity, and if they get bored or demotivated to do it, they simply switch to another, eventually circling back to the first one with renewed interest. But this approach is usually against the societal standards, where specialists who are specialized in one category and spend dedicated and their entire life to it will gather more recognition. We can understand this by taking the analogy of digging up a well. A specialist might be able to dig up a well that is 100 feet in a few years of time. But what Vata people might do is they dig up multiple wells, maybe 10 feet at a time. So they won't reach the same depth, but they'll have general idea of multiple different fields. So they'll end up becoming generalists. So what we can understand is understanding one's own doshas and building their life according to it is not only helpful but also necessary. Living according to one's own doshas gives psychological insights into one's mind and also help build a fulfilling life according to their natural traits instead of against them. So finally, one should accept for who one should understand their doshas not only for their health but also to for the deep insight into the mind to live their life according to their natural traits and build a life that is fulfilling, accepting, and also in tune with who they truly are. Thank you.
अत वैदूर्यवर्णेषु साद्वलेषु महाबलः धीरसलीलकल्पेषु विचचार यथा सुखम्. After that, the mighty and courageous Hanuman roamed at ease on the lawns with hue of emerald, which looked like water from a distance. Jai Shri Ram, Mama Nama Sujit, Aham Vyayanama Samatsare, Maghamase Krishna Pakshe, Chatutyam Budhavasare, Ashwini Nakshatre, Shishiritu Dhruva Yoge, Bhavakarne Chajataha. I'm here to speak on a topic, Pitta Dosha. It's one of the three main energies in Ayurveda. According to Ayurveda, a body functions through these three doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Each of them plays an important role in keeping us healthy. So Pitta is responsible for digestion, metabolism, body temperature and mental clarity. So it is like the body's inner fire, helping us process food, thoughts, emotions and clarity. Without a balanced Pitta, our body may struggle to break down food properly, regulate heat or think clearly. And can also affect our eyesight. So what is Pitta? Pitta is basically made up of water and fire elements. It has qualities like being hot, sharp, oily, etc. Because of these qualities, Pitta controls body heat, digestion and how clearly we think. It also influences our skin health, eye function and emotional state. So Ayurveda divides Pitta into five types. Each of them has a unique function. First is Pachaka Pitta. It's also the digestive fire. It is found in the stomach and small intestine. It is responsible for breaking down food, absorbing nutrients and separating waste. If Pachaka Pitta is too strong, it can lead to acidity, heartburn or diarrhea. If it's too weak, it can result in indigestion, bloating or loss of appetite. So by eating warm, fresh and mild spicy foods, it can help us maintain its balance. It can balance our body. And overeating spicy and oily foods can make the Pitta too strong. So Rajaka Pitta, the blood purifier. It is found in the liver, gallbladder, and spleen. It is responsible for producing red blood cells and ensuring proper circulation. It also plays a um, key role in maintaining the color of the blood, bile production of digestion for digestion. When imbalanced, it can cause liver disorders, anemia, or even skin diseases. So, by diet rich in leaf greens, beetroots, and plenty of hydration helps us keep Rajaka Pitta balanced. Third is Alochaka Pitta, the power of vision. It is found in the eyes. It governs vision and our ability to perceive lights and colors. If balanced, it gives us a sharp eyesight and clarity in perception. If weak, it may lead to poor vision, eye strain, or dry eyes. Excessive screen time and exposure to bright light can also aggravate Alochaka Pitta. So, by practicing eye exercises, taking screen breaks, and consuming vitamin A rich foods like carrots can support our eye health. Fourth is Sadhaka Pitta. It's the mind's fire. It's found in the heart and brain. It governs our emotion, intelligence, memory, and mental clarity. When in balance, it helps in decision making, focus, and emotional well being. If disturbed, it can lead to stress, anger, anxiety, or depression. Meditation and calming activities help Sadhaka Pitta. To maintain this balance, one should practice mindfulness, avoid overworking, and engaging in a creative or soothing activities. Fifth is Brajaga Pitta, the skin's glow. It is found in the skin. It controls skin temperature, complexion, and overall skin health. If balanced, it gives a radiant glow and maintains a healthy skin. If imbalanced, it may cause rashes, acne, inflammation, or excessive sweating. Sun exposure and spicy foods can also aggravate Brajaga Pitta. Using natural cooling agents like aloe vera, sandalwood helps in maintaining hydration and keeps the skin healthy. So, how do we keep Pitta balanced? So, as we know, if Pitta is too strong, it can lead to acidity, skin problems, anger, impatience, even eye problems. If it's too weak, it might lead to tired, sluggish, or confused state of mind. So, here are some ways to keep it balanced. First is by eating cooling foods like cucumber, coconut, and leafy greens. And we are supposed to avoid spicy, fried, or oily foods that increase the heat. Practice relaxation techniques like yoga and meditation to prevent stress and emotional overload. Stay hydrated and avoid excessive sun exposure, especially during the hot summer weather. And you are supposed to get enough rest and maintain a healthy routine and support digestion and mental well-being. You're always supposed to sleep at least 8 hours a day, which makes our mind more calm. Engage in calming activities like listening to soft music, spending time in nature, and deep breathing exercises. So, in conclusion, understanding Pitta can help us make better choices for our own health. Ayurveda teaches us that true health means balance in body, mind, and spirit. So, by taking care of Pitta, we can ensure good digestion, healthy skin, sharp vision, and a calm mind. Small lifetime changes can make a really big impact in our life. Thank you.
द्विजां वित्र सयन्दीमा नुरासपादपन्हरन् मृगं सुबहो निघ्नन् प्रविद्र इव केसरी. The meaning of this sloka is: a thoughtful Hanuman tread like a rampant lion, making birds fear, uprooting trees by his breast and also killing many animals. Mama nama Srijit. Aham vyaya nama samvatsare magamase grishma ritu कृष्ण पक्षे चतुर्थ्यां तिथौ गुरुवासरे अश्विनी नक्षत्रे लग्ननायन शुभयोग भावकर्णां च जातः. Namaste everyone. Today I would like to talk about Kapha dosha, one of the 3 doshas in Ayurveda with a particular focus on its influence on mind. Kapha and the mind. When Kapha dosha is in balance, it fosters calmness, stability and clarity. People with predominance of Kapha in their constitution are generally patient, compassionate and emotionally stable. They tend to approach life with a sense of peace and reliability. Kapha's influence brings a grounded and nurturing energy to the mind, encouraging resilience and a calm emotional state. However, when Kapha becomes imbalanced, especially in the mind, it can manifest in various mental and emotional disturbances. Excess Kapha leads to a sluggish, heavy mind and prone to inertia laziness. The individual may feel mentally clouded and unmotivated, lacking the enthusiasm or drive to engage with life in an active and a dynamic way. This excess can cause emotional issues such as depression, attachment, and attachment to material things. They may also struggle with feelings of stagnation and lack of creativity. Kapha imbalance in the mind are often linked to excessive attachment, especially in the form of clinging to the past, overthinking, and emotional baggage. Just to as much as kapha in the body can lead to weight gain, excessive kapha in the mind can also cause individual to feel mentally heavy or overwhelmed, stuck in their thoughts and emotions. People with this imbalance might find it difficult to adapt to changes and often feel emotionally dependent on others. The symptoms of kapha imbalance in the mind are some common signs are lethargy and lack of motivation to complete tasks, a tendency to overthink and dwell in the past, excessive attachment to people, places, and things, emotional heaviness leading to feelings of sadness, grief, and apathy, a general lack of mental clarity making it difficult to focus or make decisions. These mental characteristics may lead to a lack of initiative, procrastination, and a feeling overwhelmed by daily life. It is as if the mind becomes bogged down by the heaviness of emotions, unable to find freedom and fluidity. Balancing kapha and mind. Fortunately, Ayurveda offers various solutions to balance kapha dosha in the mind. Here are a few simple strategies. First, physical activity. Since kapha is heavy and slow, engaging in regular exercises can help stimulate the mind and increase circulation. Physical movements help lift the heavy, stagnant energies and bring more clarity and alertness. Mental stimulation. Keeping in the mind engaged with a new challenge or creative activity is key. Reading and learning new things or even participating in stimulating conversation can prevent mental stagnation. Avoid overindulgence. People with kapha imbalance may have a tendency to overindulge in food, sleep, or even unhealthy emotional attachments. Limiting excess and practicing moderation in all aspects of life is essential for keeping the mind clear and sharp. Meditation and pranayama. Practices such as pranayama, which is a breathing exercise, and meditation can help us to be calm without making it heavy. Especially for fast-paced and energized breathing techniques can help balance kapha by stimulating mental clarity and focus. We can also change our diet. A light, spicy, and warm diet is recommended for those with excess kapha. Food that are bitter, astringent, and pungent can help balance the mind by reducing sluggish and prompting mental alertness. Social interactions also. Spending time with uplifting and active dynamic individuals can uplift the kapha energy, providing both emotional and mental motivation. I would like to conclude by saying that while kapha dosha is responsible for creating a sense of stability and balance and nourishment in the body, it can become detrimental when out of balance, leading to mental stagnation, laziness, and emotional heaviness. However, with mindful practices, physical activities, and a balanced lifestyle, we can overcome the negative effect of kapha and restore harmony to our minds and lives. Thank you.
सतस्य गिरिपर्यस्य तले नागावरायुधेः तिष्ठन् कपिवरस्तत्र हृदे नागा इव बभौः. So the meaning for this verse from Ramayana, let's have a prerequisite. So Hanuman is on his way to save Sita from Lanka, and in a mountain he finds colorful rocks covering the whole mountain, and there are celestial beings living in the mountain with the setting in the mountain is like very lush and alive, and the elephants present in the mountain symbol the regal wilderness, so like very divine wilderness. And Hanuman standing at the foothills of that mountain basically is like an elephant just standing out, and his strength mirrors the mountain's grandeur, the height, the
blessing of divinity with nature, and etc. Mama nama Aditya, Vivanama Samvatsara, Tai Masa, Shukla Paksha, Uttarayana, Shishira Ritu, Dashimi Titi, Ravivasara, Kritika Nakshatra, Siddhi Yoga, and Bhadrakarana. Ayurveda. So, we are in the concluding part. So, we'll just sum up what's Ayurveda. Ayurveda is basically a holistic system that focuses on balancing of mind, the body, and the spirit. And explaining these further, which is already done by my friends, the three doshas, which are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So these three doshas basically explain about the governance of human physiology and the human health. So Ayurveda has given a lot for the world, and a few of those would be Panchakarma. Panchakarma is basically a detoxification method where 5 different techniques are used to detoxify the human body. It's a therapy. And we have Rasayana, where basically immunity of a person is enhanced. And we have many herbs like introduced by India in the field of medicine to the world. Like we have ashwagandha, turmeric, and neem. These are basically some which have very great healing properties, antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory properties, and etc. So now we will further dive into what India has contributed, or Bharata Desha has contributed in the field of medicine to the world. Let's start with surgery. Yes, India was practicing surgery from and around 600 BC, and it was started by a man called Sushruta, who is also known as the father of surgery. And he has a book which is called Sushruta Samhita, which has around 300 different surgical methods and 120 different surgical equipments used in those surgeries. So a few surgeries which are still practiced in today's date are rhinoplasty, so basically nose reconstruction, and we also have cataract surgery, and we also have antiseptic particles. So the particles used back then are now still being used. Next we'll go into vaccination and immunology. So in vaccination and immunology, Bharata Desha, the doctors used to practice a method which is called variolation. So what's variolation? Variolation is basically where a healthy person is injected with a mild version of that particular disease to induce immunity, and to induce to find a vaccination and to induce the immunity. A person is injected with a mild version of the disease. So this was used in the case of smallpox, and it was spread over to the Western world. So in vaccination immunology, we have like 2 terms used in Sanskrit, which is Prakriti and Vikriti. Prakriti means the constitution of a body, and Vikriti basically means imbalance. So what these 2 words combined tell us that to prevent illness, human body must constitute of a balanced system. Okay, so now let's go into the next contribution, which is basically yoga and pranayama, 2 of the most major contributions given by Bharata Desha. So yoga is basically a physical practice. So it helps us give guide towards spiritual and mental discipline, and it also focuses on harmonizing our body, our mind, and our soul, 3 of the most important perspectives of our body. And it also helps in increasing physical flexibility, and we could say strength, and we could also say cardiovascular health, and it also helps in stress relief, anxiety relief, immunity boosting, and etc. So after yoga we have pranayama. So pranayama is basically breathing exercises. We usually do anulom vilom, which is basically alternative nose breathings, and we also do bhastrika, like we just breathe in from the stomach, and these are widely used to like reduce stress and to like improve our cognitive health. And we also have meditation, of course. Meditation, we have very famous ones such as vipassana, and we have transcendental meditation. So these are the contributions given by our Indian traditions and heritages to reduce stress is the most main part. And next we have herbal medicines and phytotherapy. So Ayurveda focuses on plant-based treatment, as discussed before. We have turmeric, neem, and ashwagandha as a few examples, which are the most prominent herbs used in anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. And Ayurveda also has different, we could say, integrated medicine systems, which are such as Siddha and Unani. So Siddha is used in Tamil Nadu, and it's like fully how could we put this, deeply integrated with spiritual aspects of health. And on the other hand, Unani medicine combines Persian, Greek, and Indian methods of medicine, and it focuses on different types such as blood, phalgam, yellow bile, and black bile. Next we have mental focus. So mental health is maintained through the three doshas, as discussed before. So we have the first dosha, which is Vata, and imbalance in Vata gives us panic, insomnia, anxiety, and in Pitta it gives us anger and frustration, and in Kapha it gives us depression and lethargy. So next, remedies for such imbalances are Ashwagandha, Brahmi improves cognitive function, and Jatamansi helps us sleep properly. Tulsi helps us get clear mental clarity, and Panchakarma is, as discussed before, it's a detoxification therapy. So yes, that concludes contributions of Bharata Desha in the field of medicine to the whole world. And yes, in our country and our nation, our people have played a very huge role in the field of medicine, as it has helped many countless billions of people around the world. Thank you.